Hello, Mr. Snyder here with the second tutorial for Audacity, which is a multi-track audio editing program. Again, we're making our 30-second radio commercial. And what we've done so far is imported this one track. It's the male clip number one. There's the name of the clip. It appears up in the track name. How did we import? Again, it was File, Import. What are we importing? Audio. And Shift Command I is the shortcut. Okay, so you can either do it this way with the mouse, which is slower, or Shift Command I will open up your dialog box and take you probably to the last folder you're in. And there's my MP3 audio clips. Remember, I don't want to be importing my phone audio because it's not compatible. It's got to be .mp3s. So that's how you import. I'll import some more in a minute. Then we've got into playing. We have quick play up here, which probably you won't use very much. You click and
Hello,
play.
dear.
Okay, click and play.
I'm making dinner tonight.
Okay, you really don't need to use that too much, if at all. The way we're going to do it is use our selection tool. Again, roll over it. Now, it says the shortcut is F1. On my Mac, if I go F1, it does brightness on my screen. You see that? That's not what I want. I'd have to go Function F1, and then it would change the tools. Also, F3 for what we're going to be using in this next tutorial right now is the time shift tool. It's F5. So again, Function F5. See how Function F1 gets us to selection? Function F5 gets us to the time shift tool. Now, I'm finding using the function in F1 harder actually than just using my mouse, so I'm just going to click on them in these particular tools. Other tools that you're going to be using are over here. They're called the zoom tools. We'll get to them in a minute. Okay, and now again, click wherever that black line is. I call it the black bar. It's the black line is where your play point will begin. Again, if you hit space bar, it's play, and then you hit it again, it's stop, which recues it to this point. Watch this.
Hello, dear.
Hit it again, it stops there, and it recues. Play again.
Hello, dear.
Okay, and it plays right from the same stop point. Now, if I want to pause it, it's play.
Hello, dear. I'm making
Pause.
dinner
Pause again.
tonight.
Pause again, we'll play. So play, takes you to the start.
Hello, dear.
Pause. P again, the letter P, plays it.
Dear, I'm making dinner.
P again, pauses. P will pause play. Okay, and spacebar takes you back to that start point. Again, if we want to make a range, if I just want to hear this part, click and drag. You can do it from left to right. That's one way to do it. If you hold Shift, this is new, and you drag, you can fine-tune your selection point. So if you've selected too much, hold Shift. See the hand you get there, the hand cursor? You can now drag that starting point for that part of the range more accurately. So Shift, and you can do the end point too. And I'm going to don't clip your clips too close because you get into trouble. So leave yourself a little bit of breathing space at the end. There you go. So Shift, drag gives you fine tuning. You can do your rough. You can do it like so. If you need to adjust it again, Shift, drag. Okay, on both the beginning and the end point of a portion of a clip. That's about as far as we got in the last tutorial. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to zoom in. So if I want to see the detail, say I want to see this right here, I click at that point and I can hit the zoom tool, and it's going to zoom wherever I have that black line. So it's zooming right in. See, now I'm zooming right in close on that timeline, on that clip, and I can see a lot of detail. Oh, now look what I can do. I can clip just this part, and let's just listen to it. Play stop. It's just a tick sound. Okay? So you can really get fine tuning by using your zoom tool. If you want to zoom back out, just click the minus and you're zooming out on your timeline. Okay, so that's a tool up here that you're going to use a whole lot. Another tool you're going to use at times is the cut, paste, and copy. This is the copy. So cut, copy, paste. These three tools, if you want to take a selection, for example, and you want to copy it, and then you want to move it down, and then put your play bar there, the line, and then go paste it right there. There you go. I've pasted it. Okay, it's just like word processor. Command C and Command V. Command C will copy something, Command V will paste it, and Command X will cut it. What's cut mean? Cut means you're actually taking a portion of audio, like though, so. Command X will actually copy it but delete it from its original position. So Command X is Control X on a PC. See, it's gone. Now I can move down on this clip track and put my play bar there. Command V will paste it. So copying is making a secondary copy of something. Cutting is deleting it from its original position and then pasting it somewhere else. So I'm just going to undo all of that. I'm going to zoom out on my timeline. You see those are gone now. I'm going to go Command Z. I want to put them back. Shift Command Z will go forward. I went back step too far. So there we go. Let's just make sure it's back.
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Right. So we've actually got two portions of the script.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
In this one clip.
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
And I'm going to show you what the script looks like and what the organization of the files are. But before we do that, let's get into adding more clips. Let's get all the male clips into the project first, and then we'll arrange them in a rough order, and then we'll bring the female clips in. Okay, so how do we do that? Again, it's Shift Command I to import. I'm going to make sure it's the MP3s to select. Let's do them all at once. I'm going to go click on the first one. I can hold Shift, click on the last one, and I've selected a whole range. I can go click on one, hold Command, and then I can select whatever files I want. That's a little slower. Or I can click and drag, and make sure you don't take clip one again, and click and drag up. And I've selected the clips now. They're highlighted that I'm going to import into this project. Click OK, or open in this case, and you can see them all. Now look what's happened is if it's added them all as new tracks. So all these clips are on new tracks. And so there's male clip 2, male clip 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so this character had 6 different clips, and this one case here we have 2 different lines of script on one clip. So let's now figure out how we're going to start to organize things. Because right now if I just go up here and hit play.
Ooh, give me a bacon. Without
Not helpful. I'm hearing everything all at once. Now here's an interesting thing. If I just want to hear these first 2 tracks, first of all, let's go to View, Track Size, and let's collapse them because I can't see everything. So View, Track Size, and I'm going to collapse all the tracks. It just means I'm going to make them all a lot smaller. Shift Command C or Shift Control C if you're on a PC. Make note of that in your shortcut list, please. Shift Command C. I'm going to collapse them all. Bang. Oh, look at that. So now I've got all those tracks so I can see everything in one view here on my workspace. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the first clip because I want to work with it. I'm going to click, see if I go in between tracks there, those yellow bars, and you get the double cursor up and down. You can rescale the size of that track vertically. And then I'm going to go to the second one, go in between 2 and 3, and I'm going to scale it up a bit. I'm going to go adjust one a bit. So these are the 2 we're going to work with right now. So because we hit play, we hear all the tracks at once because they're all happening at the same time. You can see that very easily now that I've collapsed the tracks. What we're going to do is solo just the tracks we want to work with. So I want to work with clip 2 first, and I want to work with clip 1. Now if I click on solo, it means I'm only listening to this track and everything else is grayed out. So it tells you what you're listening to. So if I click,
Uber Eats, I've got this.
see, I'm not hearing anything else except the track that is soloed. Now, if I want to select 2 tracks and listen to both tracks at once, I click on solo on the second track. Now, but you notice when I just click on solo, it changes which track is being soloed. I've turned this one off now and turned this one on. To hear 2 tracks, you have to hold Shift and click solo, and now you can see they're both active, they're both highlighted, and now I can hear both. So if I click quick play here,
Uber Eats. I'm making dinner tonight.
okay, so you can see now that I can hear I'm working just with these 2 tracks. Now what do I want to do? I want to build a track up top here with just the male voice. So all of these clips on all of these other tracks, I want to get up here to my male voice track. And in fact, I'm going to change the name now. So I'm going to click on where it says male clip 1, change the name, and I'm going to call it male voice. Okay? And that's what this whole track is going to have, is all the male voice. You want to have all your voices on one track. It's way easier to deal with. So how do I get this clip onto this track? Well, that's where we're now going into what's called the time shift tool. So again, it's F5, but I'm just going to click because I find it's easier, to be honest. Click on the time shift tool. And what that allows me to do, see how I get the double arrow left and right? It's telling me I can click now and drag that clip left and right. Okay? Now, how do I get that from here up to here? Well, this is a little tricky with this program. You can't just drag it up. See how I'm trying to push it up? You got to click and drag it on an angle. Now, I'm having a bit of a problem here because this is one thing that's kind of a little bit of an annoyance with Audacity. I don't really seem to have enough room here. So what I'm going to do is zoom out. Okay, and now I can see extra space at the end of this track. Now the track 1, the voice track, now I'm going to click and drag using the time shift tool, but I can't, oh, there, it did pop up that time. Often it won't pop if you go straight. You got to go on a slight angle. I find it works easier. So if you want to go from track to track, click and drag on a slight angle, and then look, now I've got the second clip there. So let me just play it from here. Sorry, I've got to change to my selection tool. Click. It'll play from here.
Tomato sandwiches. Uber Eats. I've got this.
Okay, so I've got that big gap in here. So why don't I do a little bit of rough cleaning up right now? And what do I mean by that? I'm going to get rid of this blank space. You can hear my keyboard tapping. Actually, it was my phone I was recording on. So what I'm going to do is use my selection tool now. I'm going to click, make sure you're well past, let's zoom in. Okay, make sure you're well past the end of the word. Click, we'll clean it up even more later. Click and drag to the right, and I've now made a selection of the end of this first clip that we laid down, and then I'm going to just hit delete. Again, how did I do that? You click where you want to start your selection, click and drag to the right, go right off the end of the clip, and hit delete. And now I've got rid of that great big gap. I can probably even tighten it more. Click and drag, hit delete. Now I've got a little bit of a gap here if I play it from this point.
Uber.
See that delay? So I'm going to click from this side actually now. Click drag to the left. Make sure I don't touch the other clip. And hit delete. Now I've got that big gap all cleaned up. Notice if I go back to my time shift tool that these are separate clips. There's a gap in between. That's what I want for right now. All I want to do is get the clips from the new tracks up to the male voice track. So I'm done with the male clip 2 track. Close it. Bang. Now let's go and turn off solo there. Sorry, I'll keep solo on. Let's go to solo on clip 3. Now see how I can't see the whole track? So what I want to do is open it up. So expand it. And there I can see it really big now. Maybe that's too big. Go in between. There we go. You notice how it's not highlighted because it's not selected right now. So what I have to do is solo it and solo on the top, hold shift, solo down here. Now this one's active. I'll be able to hear it. Let's use our time shift tool here. Let's shift it way down to the right. And let's go back to our selection tool. Let's play it.
Hiya! Ah!
That's me screaming because of cutting myself with a knife. So what I want to do is get this again up here because it comes after clip 2. I've already organized these for you. It won't always be that case as you're doing more complex audio editing in the future. But I want to get this up here. Now why don't I just clean this off a little bit first. So I'm going to go to my selection tool, click, drag, delete. I'm just shortening it a bit because I know I don't need any of that stuff. Delete. I've trimmed it up a little bit. I won't worry about the gap in between. Go to my time shift tool. Again, go left and right, and then I'm going to drag it up. There you go. See, it can be a little bit stubborn. I don't like as much paused here at the end, so I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to clean that one up even more. So you get the idea. Go back to your time shift tool, and what I'm doing is isolating all of the clips onto one track. Okay, I'm done with male clip 3. Close it, and I'm not going to do the rest. I want you to continue doing it now. What I want you to end up with is all of the audio clips, male voice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all in order on one male track. And then we'll pick it up from there and start to build the other track of the female voice.